Gina, thank you so much for joining us from UAE. It must be really late out there. Thank you so much. Hey, Ariana, great to see you here. So awesome. I'll just introduce ourselves and then let's get started. So, hello, Payman. Thank you so much. I'm Ashish. We have three other trainers with us here. First of all, we have Christine. If you have ever attended a Sites webinar or Zoho Sites webinar before this, Christine has always been doing this. I have recently moved into Zoho, and we also have Kritika, who has been around for some time. So all three of us together will be delivering the session today. Uh, this is expected to be around a 40-minute session, and I have just been allocated 15 minutes. So I'm sorry if I seem to rush through things. Uh, but anyway, as you're aware, today we're going to be covering the design aspect of websites, how to design stunning websites and do it your way, and not just something that somebody threw at you, or just use a random template and follow that. Right. If you need to reach us at any point in time, here's a new marketing ID that we just set up. So it's marketing@zohosites.com. You will be able to reach me, Christine, and Kritika, who are the trainers today. So please feel free to write to us about anything at all. We'll be happy to help you. Usually for support, it would be better if you reach out to support@zohosites.com, and you can uh, write to us on marketing@zohosites.com for anything to do with marketing. We'll be very happy to help you out. Otherwise, our domain is zoho.com/sites. We have, hey, hey, Kate, thank you so much for joining us. And right now we have just about 100 attendees. So, welcome. And I'm just going to start straight away, right? So yeah, I thought we'll start off with a little bit of a contrarian beginning, right? So you shouldn't have a website for your business. Um I say that because I just want to remind everybody that we are in 2020. And when was the last time you heard this? And when was the last time you actually met a professional business and you actually felt that even if they did not have a website, they were credible, right? So I think in the past few months, any business who does not have a website of their own has lost that entire credibility issue. It was always there. The issue has always been standing, but now there is no walking away from it, and there's no running away from it, right? So that is the essence of what we're going to be talking about today, and we'll actually help you and walk you through setting up a website with Zoho Sites as we go. Um, while we do this, while a lot of us have been a lot of you have been telling us where you joined us from, I'll just quickly run a a poll for everyone, just so that everybody is a little more involved. Here is a poll. I know that we have attendees from South America, North America, a couple of them from Europe, Middle East, definitely. Thank you so much again. Wow, we have somebody from India. Or somewhere else in Asia. That's crazy. It's crazy late right now, and I'm pretty sure nobody's gonna be joining us from New Zealand. Right. Let me just show the results to everyone, and around 80%, 85% of us have participated at this point. So yeah, nobody from Australia, of course, and most of us are from North America. Thank you so much for chiming in. It helps us uh, figure out how we sort of present the entire case that we have in front of us. Great. Moving on, you just have a quick hygiene check. On the left of your screens, there's a panel where you have the chat window. You can leave any remarks for us over there. If you can't hear us, if there's visual problems or anything of that nature. Usually, the solution for audiovisual issues is refreshing your browser. Because we have just crossed around 125 attendees, sometimes the platform becomes a little unstable. Just a quick refresh will help. And of course, Christine and Kritika will be manning the chat section and the question section. So anything out there, we'll be happy to help. In case you don't follow the slides in front of you, or you seem it seems to you that you have lost the flow, there's this box which says presenter is here on the right of your screen. Once you click it, you will be exactly where we are. So you can just float around, check for material that we have posted up here, and still come back whenever you are ready. In case you have any questions, it's important that you post them in the questions tab, because there's somebody definitely manning those. And we also have Naresh with us, who is an amazing support uh, uh, guy, and he'll answer any technical questions you have. So please, your questions on the questions tab. And the final thing is the handouts tab on your on the left of your screens. There you will see four marketing workbooks that we have uploaded for you. So these are in case you are interested in figuring out, or a marketing workbook for how to tell your brand story, or how to come up with blog content for your website. Please feel free to download these. They will not be available after the session is done. So anytime during the session, just go ahead and download them. They should be fun for you to work with. I especially like the brand story one. It's really nice. Awesome. Okay, sorry. There's one final thing. There's a notes panel on the left of your screen where you can take notes without leaving the screen. And at the end of the session, you can just mail these out to yourself. Right. Uh, just a quick time check. We are at 7 minutes into the session. So let's quickly get started on the material itself. By the way, this session is being recorded, so you will have we will be sending you the video as well as the slides for this session. It usually takes us a couple of days, so early next week, maybe Monday should be a good day. We'll send it out to you over emails. This will also be on our YouTube channel, so you can access it over there as well. Right. So before we start, another quick poll to figure out where we are in terms of does everyone have the website of their own? Are you using Zoho sites? Are you using something else? And wow, we have somebody. This is going to be really interesting. Uh, I'm just gonna show the results to everyone in just a second. Yeah. I love that sense of humor. There's somebody who says I don't want one. If it's not trying to make fun of me, or it is actually making fun of me, please do tell us why. It'll be very interesting for me. But we have around 6 people who have built their websites with open source software. Please do let us know in chats how that's working. What is the angle you're looking for in this particular webinar, and yeah, we have 19 people who don't have a website yet, but they want it. And of course 36 people right now, wow, who are already using Zoho sites. So thank you very much. That's great validation for us. Um awesome. So now I am gonna start with, as a business owner, or as somebody who wants a website to represent their business, except the one, uh, what do you really care about? Right, what do you really want? Something which just talks about your business and it's like a placeholder, or it's like a brochure? Or is the intent here to create something which has an impact on your target customer and compels the visitor to buy? Right, I think the idea of every website has to be more than a placeholder, right? I mean, everybody, when they start on the journey to building a website, everybody has this idea that I'm going to set up a website and then magic is going to happen, right? And in somewhere in the journey, when you're setting up your website, you just give up, or you have this uh, overwhelming situation of tech, and you get sort of lost, uh, and you just decide to have a placeholder, just leave it where it is and move on. And our job here today is to sort of inspire you to bring magic back to your website. And that's what we're all trying to do, right? We do this for, that feeling of happiness, or that feeling of achievement that we get at the end of the day. And that's what we want. We want to create impact that compels your visitors to buy from you, right? Um and just some statistics which will validate this point of view that we have. Uh, why do you need an impactful website, right? So 75% of potential buyers admit to judging a company's credibility based on website design. Think about it for a second, right? Later on in the discussion, you're going to see a statistic which is equally mind blowing. But 75% of the people have one look at your website, that is the design aspect of your website, and make a judgment about your credibility, right? So design is a big aspect, however left field your business is, right? However B2B you are, or however your customer actually says that it doesn't matter, it does matter, right? And statistics of this kind actually sort of validate that point. And 46% of your customers will actually leave the website if you don't articulate well, if you don't tell them what you do exactly right up front, right? So that's an aspect of content, right? And 67% of industrial and manufacturing companies, these are, by the way, the businesses which will claim that design doesn't matter in their line of business. Industrial and manufacturing companies are influenced by digital aspects today. And I'm sure this statistic is more than 5 months old, uh, or 6 months old. And 37% of this industrial and manufacturing company data set will leave the website if it is not easy to navigate. So everybody needs good design, right? Now, again, before we move on, let's quickly check, or actually, let's come back to that later. I'm going to jump onto what we believe are the three components of making an impactful website, right? So, the first component, as we have been sort of extolling for the last 5 odd minutes, is the design aspect of your website. Content, and as a subtext, the SEO. So content essentially stands for writing for your customer, right? And SEO stands for writing for a web crawler or for a search engine. So, but it is still all content, right? So content is the second most important part of your website, and everything else, technicality, the uptime, the integrations, everything else is comes third. So this is essentially what we're saying is the hierarchy of how you should concentrate or think about your website, right? uh, Now, before I jump into the content aspect, this is like the real meat of the discussion. I really want to run this poll, and we want to figure out who everybody sells to, right? So we want to see if our attendees today are B2B or B2C sellers. And wow, this is already getting interesting. So uh, everybody should have a look at this. Just uh, check this out. So it's almost like a very standard Zoho data set where we have most of our customers or most of the attendees today are selling to other businesses. They're B2B, but there's a large chunk who are also selling directly to customers, and all of this really makes a difference. Again, sort of equally balanced, 57-43. It looks like a possession stat from a soccer game. So I'm gonna move on. Equally balanced. So right. I'm going to cover content and SEO first, because of course, the bulk of our discussion today is going to be around design. So we are going to talk about content and SEO in this single slide, and then move on to the technical aspects on a single slide. And we are going to have follow-up webinars on content and SEO, and have like a really deep dive with a copywriter and talk about SEO as well. And then on a separate one, we'll talk about integrations and how to really target your website to your customers, etc. Uh, so just to sort of have a functional understanding of content is, as you can all sort of see on your screens, visitors are seeking information which is important to them. They don't care about you at all they care about is themselves, right? And most businesses, or most people who are creating a website, tend to make the mistake where they think they're the customers are there to read about them. They're not, right? The customers are here on your website to solve a problem that they have. And So the answer to their problem needs to be front and center, right? So you need to sort of take control of the conversation and get their attention right off the bat, right. Your banner should be absolutely concentrated on the 2 words or the 3 words that your customers want to hear, right? So it's up to you to grab their attention when they're on your website. As you can see, the stat on the right side of the screen is it takes 2.5 seconds for a user's eyes to land on the area of a website that most influences their first impression, which is usually the first fold of the website, right? When they sort of type in the address or click on your website address. How do you communicate your story effectively? Is you use as few words as possible, right? You write it for impact. Words need to be written for impact and nothing else. And you use the right calls of actions at the right places, right? It shouldn't be sort of, your website shouldn't be overdone with calls of action, and they should be used in the right places as well. And you need to be the expert when it's your website. So your website has to have a content repository. It has to have, the voice has to be in a way where your customer really needs to believe that he is the one being spoken to, right? So you are the expert here. And as a side note, search engines are, in today's situation, you need to take search engines into account. You don't write for a search engine, you don't go crazy. You still write for your customer, but you have to take them into account. And it's easier than you think it is. But enough about it. We're going to talk about it at some stage soon, uh, maybe in a couple of weeks or something. I'll also quickly run you through the technicalities aspect that you need to be sure about, stuff like hosting and uptime. If your website is down frequently, or I have seen issues where if you buy the wrong kind of hosting, your website will sort of stop uh, displaying after a particular cutoff time, in a day, because it can only have X number of views in a day, or something like that. So just be careful when you're buying hosting. Of course, with Zoho sites, you get hosting involved. Hosting is sort of on the house, so that's not problem at all. And we have our own data centers, so privacy, everything is extremely well done here. But even if you have hosting outside, you need to be careful. You need to be able to see where your visitors are coming from, what their behavior is, because only then can you invest in the right places, right? If you don't have analytics on your website, you're going into it blind, right? So that's something that you must avoid at all times. And about integrations, it depends on the purpose of your website, right? So in the next section, Kritika is going to talk about design, and she's going to talk about the purpose of the website, what's the idea behind building your website, why are you doing this. And once that's there, you need to get the right integrations into place. Stuff like whether you need a form to capture a lead, whether you need a booking, a calendar kind of a thing, so that your customers can book some time with you or something of that nature. So that's important. And yeah, I think you know again, today we're just talking about design, so stay tuned on our LinkedIn channels, and our we'll also send out an email to you when we announce the next session. That should be sometime early next week when we do the announcement, not the session itself. And over to you, Kritika, because uh, you are the design specialist.
Thank you, Ashish. Thank you so much.
I'm just hand over control to you.
Yep.
There you go. All well.
Yep.
Yep,
I hope
awesome.
you can see me. It's a little
Yeah,
dark, yeah, but yeah.
yeah, we can
So,
absolutely.
yep. So, I mean, as Ashish was telling about content and SEO, I mean, everything ties together. So, that is why we wanted to give a little bit of context before we enter into design, because design is how you can build everything together. That is how you provide a customer experience, a customer navigational experience. And yes, so let's just get on with it. So, on the right side, you can see the stats, right? It takes about 50 milliseconds for a user to form an opinion about your website. So it's it's pretty human natural, like, as soon as we are introduced to someone, we like, form an opinion about the person. So it is the same way, like, as soon as we open a website, even before we could understand the business, we tend to have like a pre-built notion about, like, what this website is about, can I trust them or not. So basically you have, like, less than a second to basically form an opinion. So that is why design plays an important role, and that is why we came up with this particular webinar, where Christine is going to, like, she's a product expert, and she's going to, like, show you how you can use these small features Zoho site has to create the professional look for the website. So before we go into that, before we get into, like, the look and feel of the website, we just wanted you to understand, like, why you want the website, what is the purpose of your website. So technically it's for customers, so we design for customers. So Ashish and I, we were having this discussion. So actually Ashish and I, we are from the Zoho Commerce team, like, we handle Zoho Commerce as well as Zoho Sites. So we have been, like, running a lot of webinars for commerce. If you had visited any of the commerce, like, you would know us. So when we were, like, talking about sites, we were, like, trying to understand what is a user, like, Ashish has built websites. He is like a website expert. He has built websites for a lot of people. His notion was, like, website owners, they like, when you're building a website for the first time, your thing is, like, I need to have, like, a perfect website. And they don't when Ashish asks them a question, what is a perfect website, they don't really have an answer. For them, it's like, according to them, this particular website looks great, but then, once they build a website, they don't get any result, because they never built the website for a customer, they built the website for themselves. So designing for customer becomes extremely important. So understanding who your customer is, that's where your design starts. And again, the second line is efficiency over trends. So trends change every, like, every year. You, when you go in and Google design trends for 2018, you will actually find 10 different trends. 2019, you'll find something. 2020, so the trends change, but apparently your customers, they don't change. So it is not always essential or crucial that you need to stick to trends. You need to stick to a design standard that is efficient for your customers. So keeping that in mind, the third point is research. That is, you need to always keep performing A/B testing and making smaller changes to your website. This will help you evolve over the period of time, and you can see your conversion increasing. So whatever design you go ahead and put out right now, it it might be great, but there is always room for improvement. So again, where, like, you need to keep in mind, this is a starting point. From here, we are only, striving to move forward. So this is what I wanted to start. So the next slide, we are going to talk about, how to design your website. So there are various reasons why people build websites. So what is the purpose for your website? So ideally, when we, like, for us, zoho.com/sites, it's a website that is built to generate leads. We want you to come, so we let you try the product. Before you try the product, you need to, like, give us your email address, and only then you can try the product. So that is our lead generation. So our website is built for leads. So once we have your website, we are sending you an email for webinar, and you are coming back and you are, like, trying to find more information about Zoho Sites. You want to know whether it's a credible platform. So you understand how the process works. So that is for lead generation. And a lot of people, leads is not a problem. They want to engage customers. So there was, like, a case study that I read, like, agency, when they tried to go and, convince a restaurant owner to build a website. The restaurant owner said, I don't need a website, I don't need new customers. I have, like, way many people come in, and I don't even have enough chairs to, like, serve them. So I don't need a website. But that is entirely their perspective. But for that customer, the purpose of their website should be, like, showing their daily menu, their daily specials, or running some sort of a promotion to engage their existing customers, to let them know. Basically, even the basic map feature for that particular restaurant is extremely important. How many times have we gotten lost trying to look for a restaurant? So we go into Google, we enter a particular name, and then if we don't find a website, your credibility is lost. So at that point of time, engagement becomes important. And then lead filtration. So you have a contact form. There are so many people who are actually interested in what you have to offer, but 100 people come and fill in your leads, whereas maybe 5 people are genuine customers, genuinely you can convert it to business. So coming up with like a detailed contact us form with a lot of information, when you collect, you can filter the leads up front. So your website serves a lot of purpose. So understanding what is the purpose of your website, why you want to build a website, if you get this point right, the design process becomes extremely simple, because you know exactly what you need to tell the customer, what you need to collect from the customer. So that's the first thing, purpose. Next is perception. So perception is like how you want your customer to perceive your brand. So there, in one of my previous webinar, I was just talking to my team about this. We were doing a session on social media where I was telling you can have meme as a social media strategy. When I said meme, one of the attendees, they felt I am running a professional business. I can never put out a meme um, in my social profile or anywhere, because that is going to ruin my reputation. But meme is like a well-known strategy a lot of business use efficiently, but again, that might not work for that particular business maybe. So you could be in the law profession, you could be in there are various professions that it will not fit in. So you understand your customers better, so you need to um, fix a tone, the color, let it be color tone, or even the voice of your website. Everything needs to be pinpoint. You need to have an understanding before you go and design a website, because that is what customer that your customers are going to come, they're going to see your website, they're going to read what you have written. So everything is connected to the perception that you build about yourself. And the third thing is the call to action. So call to action is extremely important. So what do you want customers to do? So we are building a website, we are actually going and marketing in social media, we are running ads on Google, ads in all the platforms, and we have people coming to the website. Why? Yes, it could be leads, but leads, there are so many statistics. I don't have something on top of my mind. A customer who comes to your website the first time, they are not going to give their they're not going to sign up for your business. So that is why one of the user had actually put out in chat, they have a one page website. So for us, one page website, as if you look at a business in long term, a single page website is not going to do anything. I mean, it could be something like a short term campaign that you're running, or some sort of an event that you're running. Yes, one page is a great way to go. But if you are looking at your business as a long pay, like a long term business, and you want to grow your business, then that is something that's not the right way to take your website. Your website should have like a lot of content. When customers sees and when they read the content, they would be like, hey, this is helpful for me, so I can probably give my email address, and when they put out new content, they can let me know. So that is one way of collecting customers information. That is one way of how you can build your email list, and they become a warm lead. Your cold lead becomes a warm lead, and then the customer becomes familiar with your business, and then they sign up to you, like they probably contact you, or do a booking with you, and they become a hot lead. So your call to actions cannot be just book a time, or book a slot, or book a consultation. It cannot be something very straightforward. It should be something like signing up for your newsletter, or getting them to follow you on your social channel, or again, it could be trying to collect their information. So your call to action is extremely important, and only when you get your purpose and your perception right, people are going to come and give you their information. And before you design a website, you really need to have all of these understanding as to how you want, like what you want, what is the purpose of your website. So only then, getting into design will definitely help you. And finally, it's the user experience. User experience is basically a navigation. And since I see a lot of people in the B2B industry, even the B2C, um, we have, like, Zoho as a product has a one-click integration, and I see a lot of you are, like, Zoho One users. So you basically have a campaigns, access to Sales IQ. um, Also, campaigns has pop-up tools. So you basically have a lot of tools at hand. You can integrate it in one click. So let's just take chat for an example. Plenty of time, like right now, most businesses are online, most businesses close down. So when I go into a website, what I do is I go and look at the blogs. And when I see blogs from 2017, 2016, I'm very hesitant to, like, go fill a form, because I don't know whether the business is still running or not, because the website is outdated. But having a chat there and somebody online, even if you have configured a chat bot, I know that particular business is online because there's somebody there. So a simple chat feature on your website homepage is going to make a big difference. So it's going to create that trust with your customer. So Zoho Sites has all of these features. So based on your need, based on how you want to collect your customers information, or how you want to engage with your customers, we can build the website. So we have seen all of those things. So before I take you into the platform, I just want to say, like, user spends, as a user, you go into a website, um, not only, like, by clicking the ad. Even when you are, like, searching for something on Google, you stumble upon a website, you go into the website. Average time a user spends is less than 6 seconds, basically 5.94 seconds. So again, it goes back to the fact, like, the design and the perception, or what people think once they look at your website. All of that matters. So your call to action matters, your design matters, your structure matters, everything matters. So now for the demo, we have a 3-step process. So one is, the first step is choosing a template. So I'm going to take you into the Zoho Sites website and then run you through the templates. And Christine is going to show you how you can edit the template to add whatever feature you want. And then step 3 is to how, I mean, you can add section. It will look like a very simple website, but using the sticky content, the shapers, and all of these fancy features, which I was mind blown when Christine showed it to me. When you look at that, you can see how you can transform a very boring looking website into a professional looking website. So that is what we are trying to do today. So yes, so before that, I'm gonna uh, share my screen. Ashish, you just confirm whether you can see my screen.
Yep, now we can.
All right, thank you. So basically, you don't really have to go into the platform to see the templates that Zoho Sites has. If you go into zoho.com/sites/template.html, you can actually see we have over 50 templates. So that we have various single page template and multi-page templates here. So like we said, what is the purpose of your website? So it could be something like, you want to um, collect customer details, or you want people to, like, come and book an appointment. So if you are, like, also, before I get into that thing, we have templates for various industries: architecture, music, coffee shops, photographic, saloon, even tourism. We have, like, a couple of very nice tourism site templates here. I do hope, like, you go and take a look, Jillian. So let's just take this particular template for an example. As you can see, as soon as you come, you have a very clear call to action that says book appointment. and we have a multiple page that talks about, so when we are actually looking for a dentist, we want to know about the doctors, we want to know, like, what sort of experience they have, what sort of doctors are there, and the time that they are available. So are they there? So if you have, like, Zoho booking integrated into it, you can actually click on book appointment, and a time pops up, and that particular doctor is available at that particular time. So it is as simple as that. So you can actually go in and navigate and pick out a template that will fit your need exactly. And as you can see, all of these templates, the color tones and everything, our designers have looked into that, so you don't have to worry about that. All you need to do is, like, go in, replace the pictures and the content, and you're done. And we'll also look at a different site. So this is an architectural site, like, when I am in such a business, I want people to know about my previous projects, I want people to know the kind of work that I have done. So even Christine will show you a gallery, like, how you can import a gallery into your website. There I can, like, probably showcase all of the buildings or anything that my particular business has helped build. So this way, your testimonial is done, that our business has done so much amount of projects, so the trust is built. So that is how you need to look at site building. You need to look at, okay, these are the information my customers would be looking for, and I am going to provide it to them. So again, today, for today's demo, Christine is going to show a coffee shop. And let me just try to find, okay, we have a couple of coffee shops, so I'm just going to let Christine take over. So the feel about a coffee shop is that the tone, the color tone, the feel, everything is very mild and gentle. I want to go to a coffee shop to have a very relaxing time. And that is the kind of color tone that Christine is going to show, and she's going to show you how you're going to bring in various elements and sections into it, and use the sticky feature and the shapers to create a more professional looking site. So I'm just going to go and transfer the control to Christine. Christine?
All right. Am I audible?
Yep.
Awesome. All right. Hello, everyone. Okay. So, right. So I will broadcast our demo video. And so, kind of just riding on the idea that we were talking about, basically about how design is very important. So the impression that people have about your business is very dependent on, the kind of design that you have. And so given the fact that the design is very important for your website, it's a very key feature that you have to look into. And so what happens is that with that being the case, most people don't really have like a design background. Like I personally, I'm not really from a design background. And so when it comes to like building something that's so important, like a website for your business, that's something that's a little intimidating. You get a little worried, like how am I going to, portray what it is that I'm trying to portray and make it look very legit. And so that is the pain point that Soho Sites tries to address by providing you with a lot of templates and tools that are super easy to use, and you can just like drag and drop. And this particular coffee shop template, the website that I have built up to show you all of you, that literally took me maybe just 15 minutes to get done, content and everything. And I will just show you how I went through that process. And so this is like a real life use case as to how to get that done. So I'll just get into it. And so, like Kritika mentioned before, we do provide, industry-based templates. We have 50 templates, over 50 templates at the moment, and we're continuing to grow that repository. And we have templates that vary across construction and coffee shops and restaurants and hospitals, and landing pages if you're a freelancer. And these templates really help you put your website together because we provide all the pages pre-built, and so you can build like a single page website or a multi-page website. And all of these templates are also automatically optimized for mobile. And so you can see in this in the demo that I'm showing you that, this is how it displays on your desktop, on your tablet and mobile devices. And it is optimized for all of these, screens. And so you can even switch your content at any time without having, you can switch your template at any time without losing any of your content. And so that's a really neat feature for you to go about building your website. And so right now we're going to talk about sections, and sections are like the building blocks of your website. And so sections are kind of like stackable portions where you have a lot of content elements within, like headings and text and images. And so using these sections, you can flesh out your website and create your pages with ease. So I'll kind of show you how that works. And so if you take a look at this website, the coffee shop, we have a lot of sections just stacked one on top of the other. We have the menu, we have a little try the best coffee in town, something inviting. And so you can go to the sections library, and we have a whole bunch of sections that you can choose from. They're categorized based on like headings. For example, you can choose templates that are more like heading oriented, and then you can also choose sections that have more images in them. And so you can either go with the stock images that we provide, or you can easily swap them out with images that you have based on your business. And then we have also icons and newsletters. And so you can integrate with MailChimp and Zoho campaigns using the newsletter section. And so when people come to sign up with your website, they can subscribe to your newsletter as well. And you can add in this section, and once you publish your website, you will have people coming in and subscribing to you, so you can reach out to them in that way. And then I'm just, for example, I'm going to pull out a section from the image category and show you the elements that it has within. So you can see that there's a button element and there is a heading element in that. And each element that we provide comes with its own corresponding toolbox that helps you edit every particular aspect of that particular element. So if you take this booking, it's a text element. And so you can change the font size and the font color and everything pertaining to that element. And then, even if you take the button element, for example, you can change all the properties based on that. In the settings, you can see that we have an alignment style and the type and size, and all of those things can be customized as well. So, each and every aspect of your website content can be tweaked in any way that you require it to be, very simply. And apart from the elements that we provide in the section, you can also go and drag and drop more elements and add that onto your section as well. So for instance, we've taken a divider with an icon, and the icons can be changed in the icon library. So you can choose one of those and add that in as well. And after that, we have the section in total. And so sections can also have background images added to it. And images are very important for your website because it helps you, portray what it is that you do without having to add too much of text. Like, seeing is believing, basically. So if you have like an image that kind of represents what you do, you need not have to get into so much of context. And so that's why imagery is really important. And so we have an integration with the leading stock image providers like Unsplash, Google, and so on. And so you can take a look at that. And so what that helps us do is, sometimes you don't have, the sometimes you don't have the time or the resource to go about hiring a professional photographer to come and take photos of your business. And so instead of going about putting up pictures that don't look very professional, the next best thing that you can do is probably put up stock images that could represent what it is that you're trying to convey. And so what you can do is change the image, and you can upload images from your computer. And what we do is we provide optimization. So when you're uploading an image, Soho Sites automatically optimizes it. And at the same time, if you want to skip optimization, you can choose to do that as well. So it's just as simple as just, uploading to using the file from your computer. And then we have the image library, which I was mentioning before. So we have Unsplash and Pixabay and Google. So you can choose whichever, stock image provider you would like. So yeah, so I was just talking about how you can go and just choose any image that you require. And so in this particular instance, we're going to be adding a coffee a coffee cup image because in context to it being a coffee shop. And so you can see how the image automatically just spaces out, optimized and everything. And you can also toggle with different settings. So now I've added the fixed attachment, and so this kind of creates a bit of like a parallax type of way of viewing the section. And so you can also edit how you want the overlay color to be. And so everything is just a matter of just like clicking, dragging, dropping. It's literally that simple to get it done, and it looks very professional as well, as you can see. And then apart from the settings that we provide for each element, we also have the style editor. And so this is more of an in-depth way of editing each of the elements that you have on your page. And so let's take this text element, for example. We have the normal font style, font size, and all of that, and bold, italic, underline. And so with the style editor, you can get into the real in-depth tweaking of this particular element. And so you can go and choose your typography. You can choose spacing of like in between each character. You can also go about changing the color. You can add background color, and you can choose what type of backgrounds you want. You can also add like a border, shadow, and spacing around the element. And so it's very specific to the certain element that you're trying to tweak. So in this example, now we're looking at the button element. So now you change like the button background color. And so I'll just show you real quick how that works, right? And so what you do is, you can choose a color from the themes that we provide, or you can use the color picker to add your own color. And you can change the opacity of it as we've shown you here. And apart from elements having their own, style editing options, you can also change the style of each section. And so this section has like, you can change the border. And so we're adding like, dashed type of border to this section. And that also can have like a specific color setup. And once you choose a color, you can also go about changing the size and even the radius of it. So you can really get into that in-depth editing. And this is the type of editing that you would usually only have access to if you have a developer or coder doing this for you. So what we do is we provide you with all of these type of features and functionalities that you can do all by yourself. It's super simple to use. Like you just have to go in it and give it a try to know how simple it is. And so as you can see, the border has been applied. And apart from just adding individual images, we also have the gallery element. So you can go adding a lot of images to your website to kind of portray what it is that you do. And so again, you can upload images from your computer. And so I have a few images already uploaded here, and you can edit the title and caption of each of these images. And you can just to give it a name. And then you can display your gallery in different styles. So right now it's more of like a slideshow. You can also display them as squares, and so they kind of show up like tiles. And so you can see how that looks. And then the newest edition is the film strip. And so that is more of like you have a bit of like a slideshow thing happening. And so you have arrows where you can see each image. And you can choose how many items you want to display at a time, and you can also choose the arrows and so on. And then next we have the advanced design. So all of these features that I have explained just now are what helps you build like a really good looking website. But what is it that's going to set you apart from the rest? Like what is it that's going to make you really look legit and stand out are these advanced designs. So these are actually designs that can only be achieved via developer, or like if you have like intense coding skills and you literally get into the HTML and CSS, which for a common business runner that may be something that you're not very savvy on. And so what we help you do right now with these advanced design tools such as the shapers and the sticky content is like we allow you to create really professional looking websites, and you can do it all by yourself. And so I'll just take you into that. So what shapers do exactly, like I know this is not a very commonly known term. So what shapers are is that, like, when you look at a website, you see that each section is always very like boxy and rectangular and stacked one on top of the other. And so sometimes that may look a little monotonous. You just have a whole bunch of like rectangles all over the place. And so what shapers help you do is they help you add like a little bit of like an in-depth design, like an extra aspect to the plain imagery what you have on your on your website. And so you can strategically place these in your screen, and that's going to help you bring like another depth to your design. And so now we're just taking this particular section, for example, and we're going to add a shaper. And so you can see that we have a lot of patterns available. We have like a whole list that you can choose from. For this particular example, I'm going to add a bottom shaper. So, you can choose the kind of shapers that you want. We have a lot of these kind of pyramid or wavy looking designs that you can choose from. And so once you select that, it just adds onto your page. You can go and customize the color. I've already pre-customized this color. So it's just as simple as going to the color picker and choosing the color that you require. You can also increase the height, flip it, pretty much do whatever it is that you need to do to it to make it work for your website. And so, you can see how you can change the color. And then, we can take the section that's below it and add a shaper to that as well. So we're just going to do that. So you go again, you click on your settings, you select shaper, you go and choose the pattern that you require. So I'm going to add a shaper to the top of this section. And so if you take a look at it, you can see that the top shaper and the bottom shaper kind of melt together to create a little bit of that flow in between. So it looks kind of like, in my perception, it looks a little like coffee is kind of, dripping over the side. And so that looks a little neat. Like it doesn't have to be just a whole bunch of rectangles stacked one on top of the other. And so yeah, we've selected that shaper, and you can flip that around and make that work as how you want to. And shapers, these particular design elements can also be displayed in smaller devices such as mobile phones. And so if you just select that toggle, you can work with that. And so I'm just adding another shaper to another section just to show you. So here we've taken a geometric shape and we've added a solid color to it. Colors, again, as I mentioned, can be chosen from the standard and recent themes as well as the color picker. And you can also choose the transparency in smaller devices, one being the most opaque, and then it becoming more transparent as you go to 0.5, 0.4. So I'll just take you to a little preview to show you. And so on the desktop, as we scroll through, we can see how it appears. So this is what the shaper that we applied looks like in the preview. And then also the hexagon shape that we have added to this section. So that's a little example. And then this is what it will look like in the mobile site. So we have that shaper up there as well as the shaper down here. So, if you wanted to display only on the desktop and not on the mobile site, you can have that setting happening as well. And then the next is the sticky content. So what sticky content helps you do is have like, this kind of animation, you could call it, where you have your image in one place, and then when you or your content, it you can use this in both your box and column elements. And so wherever it is that you apply a sticky content, it allows you to have it fixed in one place so that whenever you scroll, you'll have, the element following you. So that creates like a very kind of dynamic look to your website. So it kind of changes up the feel. And so we're just enabling stickiness to this column right now. And then what we are doing is we are kind of, repositioning the content a little bit so that the effect really shows and stands out. So we're just going to move that up a little. And then we're going to add a spacer element to the other image so that, we can really see the difference when we scroll. And so now when we take a look at the preview, you can see how, I've just roughly added this, of course, but we can see how the movement happens, And so once done right, like for example, this is a website that we have created just to give our users an idea of how sticky content can be used. And so you can see how as you scroll, the images follow along with you, while on the right-hand side, the bigger image stays fixed. And so this can be used for images as well as if you're putting up lists. In this example, we have like our pricing plan. So you can see how it kind of scrolls along, the heading scrolls along with you. And then if you have like a documentation where you want to have the menu fixed on one side, and you want to just have the scroll happening on whichever side, you can have that fixed as well. And so that brings me pretty much to the end of this demo, and I hope all of you found this insightful. I just wanted to really show you the measures in which we take in terms of design and how that really helps you, create the website that you really want, the website of your dreams all by yourself, because only you know what you require for your website and what it is that you're trying to attract in the people that you are, interacting with, and so on and so forth. And so with all of that in mind, having to go and convey that to a designer and have them have to do that for you, you might as well just get on and do it yourself. And so with that in mind is how we have these tools. And I hope that you would take a look and start building with us, and then let us know what you think. So with that, I will transfer I'll transfer it to Ashish. Are you there?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Go for it.
Awesome. Alrighty then.
So we have a lot of questions popping up. So Doug has asked us if we can use video. You're right. We actually missed mentioning this Doug, and we also have Angela. Asking us if we support videos. Of course we do. As in,
Yeah,
I
we
guess,
do.
I mean, we wouldn't be quite a website builder if we didn't do support
Yes.
videos. So would you mind quickly showing that on the website you were working with, and how do we sort of?
Yeah, I'll just open that up real quick. I'll share my screen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just adding video as a background, is it?
Yeah, maybe as a background, maybe as a element in a section or something of that nature.
Sure. Okay, so this is the builder. I'm just going to take this section that we have right here, and we're going to add a video as a background. I hope it's visible.
Yes.
Yeah, so now, you can choose the background type. So right now I have an image. If I just simply go and click on background video, you can see that we have a video here. This is just for the sake of example, of course, but you can always upload your own video. You can change the video and upload one from your computer. And
Perfect.
then apart from that, we also have the video element. So, you want to upload anything from Vimeo or YouTube, you can just search for that. And you can also use the embed code and embed, from any other video provider. So, yeah, I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, absolutely, it does.
Awesome.
So, all right. I'm gonna 10 minutes over time. So, thank you so much, everyone, for coming in. It is one of the first webinars we're doing. So, thank you so much for your support and the encouragement. And we will definitely come back to you with probably a sharper.
The questions we haven't
With
answered, we will be emailing them to you. So
absolutely, thank you so much, Kritika and Christine, again for doing this wonderful webinar. And As that's not me saying, that's like everybody else saying it. So Miguel, Angela, and Alejandro, thank you so much. Yes, Alejandro, it will be sent over by email by Monday, and we will also upload the video for you on YouTube. Cool. uh, Robert, you're right. I'm having trouble walking away at this point. Right? So, thank you so much. Yeah, Robert, we're gonna leave now. All right. Thank you so much, guys. Have a great day ahead, and we'll catch you soon. Bye
Thank
bye.
you. Bye
Thank
bye.
you. Bye bye. Have a nice day.